Adam Friedman, Rivals.com, here at the Rivals three-stripe camp presented by Adidas at the beautiful Huff High School outside of Charlotte. We got five-star defensive end KJ Henry as a top 10, really been making a lot of waves, trying to sneak off on some secret visits here. Last one was Virginia Tech, right?
Yes, sir.
What was that visit like? This wasn't the first time you've been to Blacksburg.
Not at all. It was great. Honestly, the best time that me and my family's gotten to go up there was last time. Talking to Coach Fuente, Coach Wiles, we had a great visit there. They're really connected with my mom, my little sister, my dad. So, getting to see them practice, seeing how fluent the offense is getting for Virginia Tech. We all know that their defense is elite every year with Coach Foster, but knowing that they have a great side on the other side of the ball, it's really exciting for them. Okay, now I'm gonna test you now. Virginia Tech is one of your top 10 schools. What are the other 9? Other 9: Ohio State, Clemson, Bama, Georgia, UNC Charlotte, Penn State, Louisville, and Pitt. Is that 9?
I think that's 9. I think we're good there. Okay. Some of the ones that you've been really involved with for such a long time. Clemson, we've got Ohio State, Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina. Some of those schools have really just been sticking out to you for such a long time. Why is that?
Just they've hit me up first, honestly, and they stayed with me the whole way through this recruiting process. I think that's what the long thing is. Getting to talk to the head coaches and the position coaches. They've just been hitting me up lately, so I think that's what's kept them in the race.
For sure. We got to talk about Clemson, though. They're the school that everybody links you to so much. You have family that went to school there and everything. You took a visit. You saw the new facility. What was that whole experience just like for you? How do things stand right now with Clemson?
It was great. I've been to Clemson so many times visiting Coach Sweeney and stuff. I really just wanted my family to get down there. Obviously, they're a school that's high with us, so I wanted them to meet my family and vice versa. And getting to see the new facility. I'm a kid at heart, so I was having a great time down there bowling and whatnot. But just getting down there and, like I said, letting them meet my mom, my little sister, my little brother, they had a great time, so it was fun.
That Ohio State visit that you took for the game against Michigan, you've said before that's been very impactful for you. You haven't been able to make it back to Columbus just yet. When are you going to be able to make it back up there?
We've definitely been talking about it. I definitely want to try and get back up there. Yeah, that game still the best game I've ever been to, being in the situation and whatnot. I had a great time up there, so I definitely want to try and get back up there.
Okay, good. Now, you took visits to Georgia and Alabama. You said you had really productive talks there with the coaches. How have things been going with them? Where do things stand with those schools?
As far as Georgia, Coach Smart, every time I get down there, I just get more and more, in depth with him and what he sees me doing for that defense. Coach Scherer, he's a great guy. He's come up to see me, and got to talk with Snow about me and what I could do for that defense. They have some guys that are getting drafted or whatnot. So I definitely could make an early role there. And then Alabama, elite team, in the country, and for them to want me, that speaks highly. And getting to talk to Coach Saban, Coach LaPoy, he's a great guy, and they actually said I could probably ball there a little early too, so that's pretty cool.
Cool. We got to talk about South Carolina too. Those coaches are really working hard to make sure they can make an impact with you. What kind of efforts are they putting in with you right now?
They probably pretty much just hit me with the everybody wants you to go to the winning school, whatnot, but that they're gonna start winning. And that I could, start a new wave or whatnot, which sounds good. When I go to my high school, everybody knows me, and it's pretty much saying that when I go there, I'd get that same treatment. So, it's definitely a good feeling and a good way to approach it.
Okay. Now, Penn State, kind of a surprise making your top 10 because you haven't visited there yet. When we talked about it, you said your main recruiter outside of the coaching staff was Micah Parsons,
yeah.
5-star defensive end you're really close friends with. He's no longer committed to Penn State. Does that make an impact on you?
No, not really. He is a great friend, but all these schools, that won't be because of who goes which way. Honestly, they made the top 10 because getting to talk with Coach Franklin. He's just such a great guy. He came down to visit me, and he was one of the only head coaches to come and visit me. So getting to talk with him and seeing what type of guy he was, I definitely thought I should give him a chance. So I put him in there, and I'll definitely try and visit in the next month or so.
Okay, now we got to talk about the 3 schools that you've got family connections to. Your dad, obviously, at UNC Charlotte. You got, I believe it's almost your uncle or father. What is it?
At Pitt, yeah, my uncle.
Your uncle at Pitt, and then Lonnie Galloway over at Louisville, a really close family friend. What kind of impact are these connections going to have? Obviously, your dad being at UNC Charlotte is pretty important, but what about at Pitt and Louisville?
They've just been around me my entire life. Just when I was a little kid and when none of this football stuff was really there, and they've always been there for me. So getting to talk with them about being a part of their programs, you know, it's big. It actually is big for me. I try and keep up with them, probably more than I keep up with a lot more coaches, you know, just to see how they're doing, to see how the coaches are talking about me or whatnot. Because honestly, I talk to those two more than I talk to, you know, the position coaches there. So, you know, it's just good to be able to have that opportunity.
Okay, cool. Let's talk about cutting your list down again, making a decision eventually. Any idea when that's going to happen?
Hopefully in the summertime. Haven't really put a date on it yet, but I definitely want to cut it down to 5, you know, and those 5 will be my officials. And then after the season, make a decision and enroll early.
You're going to be an early enrollee? Okay, cool. Last question is about the draft. You know, we just had the NFL draft. Did you pay attention to the schools that may have had the most players drafted or had a lot of players drafted?
I didn't pay attention to as much of the schools as I did the positions. I thought Deans were very successful, so I think in the league, you know, that made me happy to see all those guys go. No, I felt like in the first round especially, you know, it was very sideways on who got taken and what number or what not, and that's just my opinion. But, you know, from seeing all that, you know, it shows that anybody got a chance.
All right, cool. All right, I'm gonna end it on this one. Give me 2 coaches that have been working the hardest with you that you have the best relationships with.
You
can only give me 2.
All right. Coach LaPoy from Alabama, and definitely Coach Bates. You know, he's been hitting me up, being the new guy there. You know, he's definitely trying to make his ground up.
Okay, Coach Bates from Clemson. All right, you heard it from 5-star KJ Henry. Thanks so much for your time.
Yes, sir.